I'm your goddess Nazca. Truckle Man. We're reacting to.
The worst working conditions before I have to go to work.
Oh, fun. This is just your whole something to think on while you go to work.
It's better because I can tell you the stories my dad's telling me the trucks he had to drive.
Oh yeah, the trucks that don't have air conditioning back in the day.
Barely had heat. Didn't have power steering. Your washer fluid was a little fucking foot pad thing. They had to pump to get washer fluid. They were old school trucking back in the day.
Papa Meat Channel, how you doing? Coming on Sundown because today we're talking about horrible working conditions. Oh, God! You know, we all know about the tyrannical nature of these gazillion-dollar companies that treat their workers poorly. Maybe you as a viewer even work for one of these tyrants. Amazon.
6:35 in my country. Wow.
Oh wow. Yeah. We're in the Americas. Truckleman is gonna be switching us his schedule here. We normally are vampires and we sleep during the day and we're up at night. But we're slowly having to change all that because he's going to Dayline.
Daytime line haul here next week.
So yeah, you will be seeing us at different times. Eventually we will get a schedule, but right now we got our life stuff to have to settle down with.
Yeah, we
first.
gotta take care. Well, maybe this we want to talk about scheduling or something.
Heard about the bad stuff they're doing? Piss jugs and such? How about Apple? Oh, and Nestle.
Nestle?
Nestle, they make the Nesquik.
Children's bones.
Here's a conspiracy theory. Is Nestle chocolate powder ground up children bones?
What?
Can we be sued for this? is that
How would that work? Did they dye it brown? Because I'm pretty sure ground up bones would be like a gray-white color.
slander or something? No, guys, I'm serious. This is real. You know, it's common for big businesses to do whatever they want so they can squeeze as much work out of people as they can for as little pay. You know, and listen, I am a businessman through and through. I have this YouTube channel. I have various other things happening out throughout, you know, my
Ports, 4 smokestacks and
What does that mean?
I don't know.
career jobs, whatever. And I hope that my employees are just happy that they are here, that hopefully they feel like they're treated fairly, because I love and respect all my beautiful angels. And yes, they did even send me, you know, there's a suggestion box or something, which feels so played out, but at the studio, I had people make videos and talk about just some of the things that they like, or maybe some of the things that treated fairly, because I love and respect all my beautiful angels. And yes, they did even send me, you know, there's a suggestion box or something, which feels so played out, but at the studio, I had people make videos.
Okay. Schmootalk Book Club, not happening. Double ratings on Mondays. Hail new. 40 minutes of goon break after lunch. I'll consider it.
And talk about just some of the things that they like, or maybe some of the things that they want to be fixed here, like you know, Harry and Nick want a massage chair. I'll get to it, guys, but until then, here's one of them now. I hope they're good. I haven't seen them yet, so. Did people send in the videos yet?
Well, they're still sleeping. It is 3 a.m.
I emailed them. Listen, the first couple that we got so far, that's bullshit. Like, I mean, censor that, okay? No, I'm serious.
I will. I'm gonna talk to them too. This is
Yeah,
fucked
you
up.
need to. That's your job. J-O-B, do you know how to spell?
I'm sorry.
Push him down the stairs. He's sending him to the basement to work.
I don't want to know what you guys think about work. Oh, see, yeah, they like it down there. They love working for Papa Meat. Alright, see you guys.
There comes a point where things delve into a realm of straight-up cruelty, when morals are thrown out the window in favor of...
On the bright side, I feel like most all of this is in other countries, not America.
We might get to a couple in America. Like, remember the diving video we reacted to a couple weeks ago?
That was in America?
No, I wasn't, but I'm just saying, this, like, more modern times.
Of maximizing output and profits at any cost. We are tiptoeing very close.
It's Thursday on my end.
Huh.
Go to school today. Huh.
So
Thursday, huh? It's Wednesday here. Weird.
This YouTube channel. We gotta watch out. Mostly you, Nick.
What?
This can result in nightmarish business practices, which are often hidden from the public. Occasionally, word will spread, giving us a glimpse into the depraved working conditions of these massive, massive companies. Did you see Alien Romulus?
No.
The beginning of Alien Romulus looked like an Amazon factory.
That's gonna be
Huh.
Mars when Elon conquers it.
When Elon, Emperor God Elon? So today, listen guys, today I just want to talk about some of the scariest and deadliest working conditions on planet Earth. Roll the intro.
Where there's a whip, there's a way.
lining.
Where there's a whip,
No, thank you.
there's a way. Where there's a whip, war today. But the Lord of the land nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip,
Not in California.
This idea came to fruition because of an article that me and Nick were fascinated with, which is about OpenAI and Sama working conditions, which are just like, you know, AI technology companies, whatever. But there was a very interesting article that came out. You might have heard of products like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Sora. These are like the leading
Stop it!
companies of AI.
There.
I'm gonna punch you.
Punch you.
I'm gonna punch you.
All right. Yo.
Yeah. Pretty soon robots such as Tesla, Optimus, Tui, and other robots will full capable therefrom companies will replace the regular working person in 10 years, maybe sooner. I'm speculating that myself, actually. I could agree.
AI and, you know, computer learning and all that other bullshit that's raking in billions and billions of
Don't punch me.
dollars a month, maybe even
I wanted
gazillions
to
a year.
punch
What's-
him because he kept pushing the clicker at the same time I was pushing the clicker. Yeah. You know, it took him little Bumblebee or Optimus. They might as well make Megatron. Skynet Origins.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
What's after billions?
Quadrillions,
What's after quadrillions?
pentillions,
When the is gazillion? Is gazillion even real?
gazillions. That's
You're telling me right now that gazillion isn't even a real number? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there goes my intelligence. Creating an AI model trained by the media and the internet means that inevitably there's gonna be issues if you assume something-
Wait, what did that say?
Oh God. Maybe you shouldn't read that one out loud.
But it was funny.
Oh, thanks for the $5.
Blue Sky Super Chatted $5. You are too in sync.
You two are insane.
Yeah, we're in sync.
We're in sync.
I get to. Who's the one who did the voice of Sephiroth? I'll be that one. You can be Justin. Oh wait, I'm supposed to moan, right?
All right, and here comes the band.
I'll moan for
But thank you-
$5
thank-
tippers.
But thank you, Blue Sky, for the $5.
Yeah, thank you.
the little dicey things that happen online might not want computers learning from that. I don't want AI learning from that. Okay. Early on, people were finding clever ways to trick ChatGPT into bypassing its own moderation filters in order to spew racist language or even instruct people on how to properly build explosives, right? These people were able to basically trick the code.
It's because we got tipped $5. I get tipped $5. My goal is the $5 tip is, and I do some monies. Until we get in trouble, I guess.
Maybe we
And all of a
should
sudden,
try
now
not.
these AI models are saying some dicey stuff and they're telling children how to build literal explosives. And that led to DALL-E giving disturbing images that it was learning from because people were able to bypass and do all that kind of stuff. Basically, moral of the story,
What?
a job was created. Content moderation. OpenAI began outsourcing the job to a company called Sama, a data training company that focuses mainly on AI algorithms. Workers from Kenya were hired as data laborers, which essentially meant parsing through thousands of images and videos to identify objects and help the AI understand how to identify them on its own, right? AKA, they were taking images of dead children, maybe child pornography, all kinds of stuff, and they were making these people sitting in a room and just be like, that's bad, to the computer, so the computer can just be this weird hive mind that's just like...
He just needed to apply pressure on the wallet pump. I'm sorry, that joke. Oh man, that joke hit. You got it right. Okay, I pushed play already.
Sama had absurdly high expectations, pressuring employees to identify complex videos and images at breakneck speeds, sometimes being given only a few seconds per labeling task, right? Was that dead kid? Was that a dead kid? Within a 9-hour shift, they rushed to read and properly label up to 250 passages of text to avoid being punished. What is Sama doing back there? How are they punishing people? I know it is. They're like, all right, I'm fired. No, you're not fired. You go a level deeper. They go, a little hatch in the floor and throw it up. According to a 60-minute interview with Sama employees, completing the work allotted in their contract in advance never resulted in extra pay. Instead, they received, and this is a perk, they would receive 2 pieces of KFC chicken and a bottle of soda.
They used to say,
Woo!
There's a joke. I'm not gonna go down that road. I'm not going down that road.
2 chickens. Oh, dude, I can make a joke here. The fact that it's KFC chicken. Have you heard the meme going around with KFC chicken?
No.
There's been like a new KFC commercial, and they take a human and dip them in like a river, and the human comes out as chicken. So everyone's been saying that KFC chicken is made of people. This is for entertainment purposes. Don't flag me.
Are they trying? They're giving them soy and green.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's people. KFC is people.
And watermelon. It's a Diet Dr. Bob.
thank you. They get you a bottle of soda and KFC chicken, 2 pieces, and that is it.
Not bad. Not bad, dude. Colonel, I could have a couple pieces of chicken from the family bucket.
Hold on, this seems very racist.
Goodness. I can say those jokes. Oh man.
2 pieces of chicken?
Listen, you can say it's racist from Sama or anything, but if you know what, I love the Colonel. Granted, I would love just more pay, but if they're giving me cherry Coke and a couple thighs, then why not, dude? It was normal for workers who had...
I'm gonna put you CB, but I mean, at least they're feeding you, I guess. Oh man.
Children and struggle to find work to live paycheck to paycheck at Sama. That's strange. Wow. It's so crazy to me where it's like, well, first off, I want to know, is there research? How many people are there? Even if it was thousands, you're telling me you can't throw
A 3rd chicken wing?
yeah, another family bucket? No, I just mean like,
chicken.
you can't get them up fucking $15 an hour. I am the CEO of these channels. You think I'm not trying to line my pockets as well? I get it, all right, but I try to keep my boys happy, all right? Only when my boys are happy does this whole gravy train keep rolling.
That's why we get a bucket of KFC every day.
I'm not giving you a bucket of
Yum.
KFC. I know what I said, but I'm not going to. Your cholesterol is far too high, and that's coming from me. The job itself.
Okay. If you were to have chicken, what chicken would you have?
Chick-fil-A, come on.
Chick-fil-A? I've been really loving Cane's. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Raising Cane's.
Yeah, I've been really loving that chicken. That chicken do yum yums.
So it became more and more bleak as labeling tasks became downright disturbing. Because the AI models needed to identify and prohibit inappropriate language and images, many Sama employees spent entire work weeks combing through shocking visuals and text descriptions of vulgar content. Like pornography, drone attack, self-unaliving, dismembered bodies, bestiality, child abuse,
What?
sexual slavery, and even sexual acts against children. God damn, dude, what the fuck?
If you can think it, they saw it.
Yeah, I think they're just like, we're gonna have you use nothing but Bing.
So these people, they worked for this AI. They had to make moderation for ChatGPT, and they had to go through all these fucking images within seconds, and then say, "Oh, that's not appropriate." In mere seconds, every day, in and out. Imagine seeing just the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst things on the internet.
These people need to become like police officers. They need to be trained the same way police officers are trained at this point. Because didn't you say they showed you some really effed up shit when you tried going in the police academy?
No, it was when I was studying criminal justice, and I did crime scene investigation. The book they gave us of crime scenes, the one where the woman had her tit cut off.
Don't say that.
I saw that.
Oh, touch me. No.
Search engines and Ask Jeeves. They're just like, oh no. One employee states that he endured repeated visions of some of the more disturbing texts, like a man having sex with a dog in the presence of a young child.
You know what immediately that made me think of?
What?
Shal Tucker.
Oh. You just made that worse.
Gotta get those AI machines to learn somehow, right, boys? Here's $1.32 an hour. Thanks for that. Yeah, hey, you know what? For you, you're gonna get an extra chicken thigh today at lunch. Don't tell the others. Other employees were tasked with reading erotic online stories. Me too.
I worked at KFC in my teens and I was always full. That was because I was taking each on the side. Yeah, okay, there you go. You got yourself an extra bonus with food.
Big brother.
In one case, a Batman fanfiction. In one case, a Batman fanfiction in which Robin is sexually assaulted by the villains.
You know, to be honest, I feel like that probably does exist.
Oh.
Robin! No! Sorry, Batman. But it looks like this bird's about to be plucked. I bet the other guy's pissed. That's all you read about.
Oh no!
Fanfiction.
Dude! It's the reverse gender killing joke.
Oh.
Have you heard of that one, the killing joke? My mind. But instead of Batgirl, it's Robin.
Robin getting his sucked by the Joker. But desperate for their paycheck, they did their job despite the psychological damage. And one employee reveals that they
I gotta go. Sorry, few minutes. Probably next week. Take care, Godzilla. Have a good day at school, baby. Mwah, I love you.
I read the killing joke.
Yeah. I looked it up bits and pieces, but yeah, I got the main premise.
Remember back in the day when 2 Girls, 1 Cup was considered messed up?
It was just the tip of the iceberg.
found themselves crying more in their daily lives due to the trauma after seeing these images. Another employee, Naftali Wambalo, admits that he struggles to enjoy sex with his wife after being forced to watch an endless stream of graphic material.
On the job that I was doing, I had sex.
All for people to just be like, to go to ChatGPT and be like, search image Boogie 2988 but Chinese. It's like, cool. And there's a guy who's just like sitting at home, like at Sama, strapped in like in the Clockwork Orange. call for some 8-year-old to be like, how to get Robux. And after 8 months, in February of 2022, Sama canceled the project with OpenAI. The employees, however, wanted them punished for their actions. Over 200 employees are currently in the process of suing Sama for poor work conditions. This extends to Meta as well, who previously used the same services to improve their content moderation as well. Content moderation? That'd be mind-numbing. I did solar panels, like worked in the solar industry for a bit, like sending techs out to do solar or whatever. I thought that was mind-numbing. I can't even imagine what it's like sitting there having to read fan fiction, like actually reading.
Read, Moo, read. Clockwork Orange. Never seen it.
Too, and if you don't do it, they're like, bye, and you're like totally just reliant. It's. But let's hop on over to China. How about we?
Oh, God.
Yay.
Shein is a Chinese clothing brand that creates fast fashion, which means producing clothes exclusively for online purchase at a rapid pace for incredibly cheap prices. Not only is fast fashion responsible for a lot of the environmental issues like greenhouse gas emissions, if you believe in that garbage, be sure to flash joking, dude, but it is often the culprit of incredibly unsafe work conditions. Companies like Shein subcontract their
The
work.
cost of Temu.
Oh, yeah.
All that shit that your mom buys off Temu.
Fiction ever on my worst enemy. Yeah. The fan fiction can be just burning.
I still won't forget when we went to what was it, Dallas?
I think it was Houston.
Oh, Emma Houston. The guy read bad fan fiction. The SpongeBob, Bill Clinton fan fiction.
The Minions one. That one hurt me the most.
Oh God. You wonder what happened to people to get to that point in their life. That to the point they thought this, then took the time to type it out and just write it for the world to see.
To unregulated
humanity
factories,
at that
it is
point.
common that places like this do not follow proper labor laws, aka you get some children in there selling. You get people pulling all-nighters, operating heavy machinery, operating heavy machine.
We did a Temu video, Rule 34, yeah. What we did a Temu video about a year ago. We bought a bunch of.
Oh yeah, cheapo anime figures.
I think I spent like $100. You could tell they were just knockoffs.
Machinery that could just mangle your body in an instance. They're just like, you've been awake how long? He's like, 28 hours. Okay, we're gonna need you to stay a little later today. Got a bunch.
Yeah. This kind of work with clothing and stuff, I bet you these people get like a lot of cuts and stuff. They probably cut their fingers off with the tools that they use. I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt it.
Of yoga pants that we need you to sew up today. Is that okay?
All
I
for
guess.
clothing.
Public Eye, a Swiss company, exposed Shein for its horrible working conditions. After speaking to 13 employees from different factories
All the single ways, even I am weird. That weird.
Yeah.
across China that supplied to Shein, it was clear that they were being worked to the bone to reach their harsh deadlines.
Sounds like just 13 disgruntled employees. There's a lot of people in China.
Yeah, there's billions of people in China, and we're gonna nitpick 13 of them. Shein makes the best underwear I have. It'd be a problem if they stopped manufacturing them. In order to allow companies like Shein to produce new lines of clothing at the speeds they require, many workers were pushed to commit to a 75-hour work week or more. And one employee.
To put that in perspective, me driving a big rig, not the drive time, but the actual just how much time during the week, I'm living to 70 hours a week.
That's driving to a location and driving back, right?
No, that's for the whole week.
Oh, for the whole week.
After that, I have to have a mandatory 34 hours off.
For
Basically,
health
they-
and yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. You got the blood, sweat, and tears. All of the subtle 3 HDMI 4K cables, and one of them caused the port on my TV to shut. Oh yeah.
I ain't going to China.
Oh no.
But yeah,
I'm not going to China either.
Stated, and I quote, I work every day from 8 in the morning to 10:30 at night, and I take 1 day off each month. Can't afford any more days off because it costs too much. God damn, what would you do during that? I don't know what I would do with myself on my day off.
Spa day.
Yeah, you just go to the spot.
but
Hey, I like the bot. The random bots. Hi, Bot.
It's worth it. It's Spotty. The next day, immediately, you're just like back on the 14-hour grind. Many worked an average of 12-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. Imagine working 12 hours a day and never getting a day off. Imagine that. And don't say that's what your life is now, dude, because it's not true. This is despite Shein insisting their code of conduct that 60 hours was the maximum hours an employee could work. That's all you can work. Go home. No, seriously, go home.
Yeah.
I guess he just wants to stay.
Well, you see, they can only work 60 hours on the books.
No, yeah,
the
exactly.
rest of it is donated time.
We'll pay under the table. It's like my overtime, I'm getting paid less. I know. If you want to stay here and work, man, it's fine, but it's going to be cut in half. In a documentary called Inside the Shein Machine, Untold, hidden cameras revealed that some employees were working for as long as 18 hours a day, earning a measly 2 cents per item. So you need a lot of pennies.
Per item. So they could spend a long time making said item, but they still only get 2 cents.
Wait, 70 hours a week? Yeah, trucking, you're limited to 70 hours work week, which you gotta keep in mind. I mean, some of the runs I go to, like if I go to Odessa, that's 5 hours and 15 minutes just to get there and 5 hours and 15 minutes to get back. So that's over 10 hours in drive time. So yeah, you can work up to 70 hours. And I've had some weeks I've been close to that. Not reading your name.
That is so random. The hell, yeah, 2 cents.
Yeah, 2 cents.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I like what I think what he's doing is doing pretty good.
Make it on that whole dude. Although employees worked around the clock, they received pay lower than the livable wage in China. And on top of this, workers who make mistakes often pay the price with their wallet. I like how it's like, yeah, if you
What?
they're like, we gotta pay for that. Jesus, dude. According to Public Eye, mothers and fathers were babysitting their children inside the factories. And in some cases, teenagers were seen packaging boxes. Although Shein denies the claim of any sort of child labor occurs in the factory. They're like, that doesn't happen.
Oh,
Like a baby
everybody
walking with like a hard hat on.
If
He's
I really
actually
wanted to
46
do it,
years
but
old,
it's
right?
I mean, I think my average week I do about 50 to 55 hours.
Hats off to you, man. Hats off to you.
I mean,
I've been working as a trucker, Dad. It's something. You get good pay too.
yeah, mileage pay.
The Benjamin Button disease.
That's Gulong Button. Dude, do you think, has China ever done a Benjamin Button of their own? It's not called Benjamin Button, but it's called, his name's like Lo Kim Button.
Lee Button.
Lee Button. Dude, Lee Button would rule. Or I guess it would be Button Lee.
Yeah, Button Lee.
And Shein has tried to use their PR team to like make themselves look better, partnering with influencers and such.
I think my biggest takeaway from this trip is to be an independent thinker, get the facts and see it with your own 2 eyes. There's a narrative fed to us in the US, and I'm one that always likes to be open-minded and seek the truth, so
Well, the Gatterman is better than the previous, so I'll say that much.
But yeah, this look how nice it looks.
Oh, pretendies, right?
I'm grateful for that about myself, and I hope the same for you guys.
But after other videos come out and just to expose them even more, I'm pretty sure all of their influencer partnerships have ended. Shein is a piece of shit. All right, that's just all I gotta say. Also, I just want to say too, just because we're on China and people basically having to work those wages. Have you seen that thing in what is it, like Beijing or something like that, where it's like people will rent out one bedroom apartment, but then they'll make like cages that are their own rooms and they'll stack it on.
What?
Okay, that's good to know, but your name is very problematic. But yeah.
Girl, I think they're just called cage apartments or something like that. It's crazy. But then they're like, I can barely afford this. Dude, living in China would not be dope.
But I've seen videos where everyone's happy and it's futuristic.
No, dude. Shen Yun told me it's bad, therefore I'm not going. Let's move over to Packer Sanitation Services. Packer Sanitation Services is a company that specializes in cleaning slaughterhouse facilities all across the country. Which, if you haven't been to a slaughterhouse, or if you didn't grow up in the South or the Midwest like I got to, let me tell you, slaughterhouses are one of the most vile, disgusting things you'll ever see in your life, and it is one of the worst smells of all time. Also, do you want to just feel perpetually sad? You like that? Get me over to Shein, actually. I don't want to do this one. In 2022, PSSI was accused of using illegal child labor for its sanitation services. Over 100 teenagers between the ages of 13 to 17 years old worked overnight shifts performing dangerous tasks. And it's against federal laws for minors to work at a meatpacking facility as the hours conflict with average child school schedule. This also breaks the Fair Labor Standards Act, which forbids minors from working in hazardous work environments.
I was gonna say that's the more important one.
Yeah, hazardous schools. She's like, yeah, but they also go to school at this time, dude. Also, for all these are all these country bumpkins, dude, that are doing this. They're just like, well, I guess I'm gonna go up there and clean the slaughterhouse today. That's a 13-year-old. Well, I guess me and Pa are gonna go up and see if we can't clean out the pig trough there today. Yeah, I'm sure Cletus is going to school. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. I got a tummy ache today. The job duties involved cleaning various sharp blades used to cut meat, like brisket saws, brisket, and head splitters. Doing so means the use of incredibly hazardous chemicals. The work at PSSI has resulted in many fatalities in the past, and in 2019, that led to the death of Antonia Gutierrez. The man climbed into as he was cleaning it, only to get caught between the moving auger blades and decapitated himself as he screamed for help.
Okay, we're gonna back this up because
Yeah, I missed everything. Sorry about engaging with
That's a 13-year-old. Well, I guess me and Pa are gonna go up and see if we can't clean out the pig trough.
It's okay. Politics are one thing, but he started to go into a very, very dark place. It's fine. Okay. Just focus on Papa Meat and the horrible working conditions.
And then after this,
I'm sure Cletus is going to school. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. I got a tummy ache today. The job duties involved cleaning various sharp blades used to cut meat, like brisket saws, brisket, and head splitters. Doing so means the use of incredibly hazardous chemicals. The work at PSSI has resulted in many fatalities in the past, and in 2019, that led to the death of Antonia Gutierrez. The man climbed into a chiller tank as he was cleaning it, only to get caught between the moving auger blades and decapitated himself as he screamed for help. He was literally cleaning a saw trap, and he became a saw victim. As the investigation started, PSSI did whatever they could to stop evidence from being discovered. When investigators would interview the children, PSSI managers reportedly surrounded the entire room so they could stare them down as they answer questions in order to pressure them to lie. Now, Cletus,
he slipped and fell. He was getting decapitated, and he was yelling for help, but no one would stop the blade.
They probably couldn't, and now they're trying.
No, because they're saying they were saying to lie about it. They didn't. It's not that they probably couldn't. It's that they didn't want to. That's what that sounded like.
Oh, we didn't get into the meat.
Hey, look, there's your Soylent Green.
And that's where KFC gets their food.
I did not clean the dead blades. What about you, Button Lee? After interviewing some of the children involved, it was revealed that their shifts sometimes went from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. up to 7 days a week. I tell you too, some of the Southern boys too, they're just like, I already got a full-time job. I'm playing, down at Randy's there on the corner. I'm planning on getting a truck next Thursday. My daddy says if I stick with it, I might be up to 10 with the next summer. You're 7 years old. Yes, sir. The younger children would either miss school or fall asleep during classes.
Kids.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's the... Cletus, you want to wake up? We're talking about algebra. I ain't going to be no scientist or rocket scientist. I don't need to know numbers. I gotta think of something funnier. Whatever. The investigation across other PSSI sites revealed that many miners were employed, and eventually they were forced to pay the sum of $15,138 per miner working there, and in the end, they paid $1.5.
Oh my goodness, they actually pay a lot. So wait. They had to pay for a fee to have miners working there.
No, they paid a fine for miners working there.
But they can't do that anymore, right?
No.
Okay, good.
That's why they paid the fine.
Okay. It's
up to 1.5 million. Holy
damn! How many kids would that be?
I bet you anything, they're just like, okay, I'll pay that. Also, Cletus is still working here. I'm not firing him. He's our best cleaner.
See? That's exactly what I was talking about. They just paid the fine, but they're still working there.
Yeah.
How about let's get back into
joke.
technology, dude. I'm tired of all
Okay,
these. Who gives
say
about these
so.
inbred redneck pieces of shit? I'm talking about. I want to go into the tech again. That's where the money is. Foxconn
Yay.
Technology Group is a Taiwanese
God,
electronics
Foxconn.
manufacturer.
What?
that
What's that? What's that? What?
There are so many stories from Foxconn I've heard 20 years ago.
Really?
They make a lot of like stuff for Apple and other companies. Like they do, like the screens, like the touch screens. They make a lot of stuff for the iPhone, and there is like horror stories.
Huh? I've
Like-
never heard of them.
You're about to.
partners with some of the biggest companies in the world, mostly Apple, to create their products. In 2022 alone, they reached more than 760,000 employees. The phrase iPhone City refers to the central manufacturing hub in
One of those packaged
Convenient.
store burgers, and I took a bite. I noticed it tasted weird. Oh no! They have suicide, and that's because people do. Oh.
Yeah. Or they just block out the window so people can't jump.
Oh.
Zhengzhou, China, that at one point produced half of the world's iPhones and other Apple products. It stretches 5.6 kilometers, employing 200,000 workers. While the pay is better than other options in the area, the work is grueling. A man that goes by Hunter, commented that the job was like, quote, working under a whip, rapidly completing the same task endlessly, day after day, forced to stay utterly silent for the entire duration of their shift. I do like how
Hey, that reminds me of that first episode of Psalm 100.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. They did the top of your burger and saw that it was black. Ew! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I would find someone to sue for that. Ugh.
they're just like, hey man, how's your day? Shut up! Made the iPhone! Amongst the pandemic, Foxconn insisted that those who wanted to work there must move into the dormitory rooms inside of the factory. Ugh. The rooms themselves were 6 square meters and were shared with other employees. The rooms had no windows, so employees had no clue of what time of day it was. Jesus Christ, looks like an army barracks, doesn't it? On the job, his managers did not want him or anyone working to stop even for a mere second. He recalled seeing one employee have his pay rate reduced for simply drinking water for slightly too long.
Who is it?
What does that even mean? Okay, dude, that's excessive. And one employee revealed that they would have to sprint to the bathroom if they wished to use it and return without getting scolded.
That sounds like Amazon.
I mean, if you should be, they should at least be nice enough to provide diapers, right?
Oh, this is a piss bottle.
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't have time to piss in the bottle. You just got to piss in your pants.
Exactly, they should be nice enough to at least provide diapers if they're not going to let them use the restroom.
Is this selling Amazon? If there's piss jugs, then it might just be Amazon. During COVID, workers were told that they shouldn't get tested for the virus so that they could continue working and not be forced to quarantine. Because of this, workers would be squeezed between other feverish workers for 11-hour days.
That's horrible.
This is in China where they had some of the worst lockdowns.
The worst cases of.
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah, we don't care that you
Everybody's getting sick of
die.
that job. It was normal to see employees acting erratic from the working conditions, passing out from exhaustion, and attempting to unalive themselves from sheer stress. Some revealed that when a worker made a particularly big mistake, they would make them write a letter of apology that would be read out loud in front of other employees to embarrass.
But they won't fire them. You still have to work, and they just discipline you like a
This is on
child.
100. Holy shit.
I have too much self-respect to wear diapers like a child. Yeah, like a certain community. Yeah, I gotta learn. Okay, that's good. That's court proceeding, guys. Oh, they got. Oh.
Ugh.
Doing that. Okay, that sucks.
Them and make an example out of them.
Jesus.
They're making iPhones, dude. These are definitely power trip people that have like been in those roles before. Now they're out. So now they're like, I'm gonna treat everyone like a piece of shit. Foxconn did what they could to stop stories about their poor working conditions from being released to the public, even resulting in dragging a Reuters journalist out of his car and beating him for trying to take photos.
What?
What?
You're trying to beat him for peace. Hi, crazy. Basically, public shaming. I wonder if these factory jobs are sought after by most people. Oh, I wonder. But
I like
why?
I was just like, he's just like taking a photo of something else and they're just like, get him! Foxconn's biggest scandal was in 2010 when it was revealed that the workers from Longu were jumping off dorm buildings in droves,
yeah.
unaliving themselves in desperation.
But
And
you
after
can't.
18 attempts and 14 confirmed deaths, large nets had to be installed outside the buildings to catch falling bodies, which people now have, the nets have become, I think, a kind of a widespread thing. But imagine that. Your working conditions are so bad that they actually put McDonald's giant play nets out. You know what I mean? Like for the play place when you'd like fall through the thing. Unbelievable. In 2012, workers used this bad PR to force better work conditions, and 150 workers had climbed to the rooftops and threatened management that they would all jump unless their demand.
Oh yeah, hoofa.
You missed this part here.
I'm so distracted.
Working conditions are so bad that they actually put McDonald's giant play nets out. You know what I mean? Like for the play place when you'd like fall through the thing. Unbelievable. In 2012, workers used this bad PR to force better work conditions, and 150 workers had climbed to the rooftops and threatened management that they would all jump unless their demands were met. And also there's
You know how like some like you have union strikes? They had a
Suicide strike.
yeah. That's how bad that is.
quite literally an entire Wikipedia page of people who have taken their own life from Foxconn. One entry for Soon Dan Yong states that he, quote, threw himself from an apartment building after losing an iPhone prototype in his possession. And before death, he claimed he was beaten and his residence searched by Foxconn employees.
I'm wondering if that's what started it, because I remember that was big news. I think he was at a bar and he left the phone at the bar.
Yeah, it was like a prototype thing, and he's like, oh, I left the thing there, which, oopsie daisy, whatever it, you know. I guess if it's a prototype, it's a big deal, but at the same time, too, it's like, you know that there was some unruly shit that they did to him, tortured him, did all kinds of shit. Drive somebody to death.
Because he accidentally left like a new product in a
Yeah.
bar. And then it's not the freaking employer, it's the other employees who ganged up on him for that. Because they all probably got berated.
Oh god.
But to close out the video, we're going to talk about the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Let's go back in time a little bit, dude. We're talking about too much real stuff now. Let's go back in time to where the world was black and white and things were just a bit more silly. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory operated in the top of 3 floors of the Ox Building in Manhattan. It was essentially a sweatshop that hired teenage immigrant girls, working them for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for very little.
Okay, if we're gonna go back in time, then yeah, America had some bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably some nasty. They were probably chained to their desks, I bet you.
Ugh. Yeah, I read about those workers in other countries offing because long hours, low pay, mental job in
Well, human beings.
factory. Yeah.
Well, human beings, even like you've seen me, like if I've had like 4 or 5 hours of sleep and I had a couple of days like that, I get
Yeah,
grouchy.
you not just grouchy, but you can't think straight too.
But someone working that many hours day in and day out, that's gotta fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Pay. The working
It's just a
conditions
new
were
form of
very
torture.
poor. These are some of the things. The building was unsanitary. The air quality was poor and the room was not air conditioned. Bathrooms hardly
Well, back then,
Bathrooms hardly worked.
they didn't have air conditioning, I don't think.
Or they couldn't afford it for whatever reason.
worked. The stairwells were poorly lit, and the sprinkler system in the building did not work. That's foreshadowing. You like foreshadowing? Considering
God.
everything that they were creating was highly flammable, this was as unsafe as it gets. Suddenly, a random spark in the building turned into a fire. Managers tried to clear it quickly with fire hose, only to find out that it was rusted shut, with no sprinklers to weaken the flames. They
Oh, lovely. So not only
Not even a fan.
not only were these people almost pretty much slaves, the bad working conditions were so bad that they were trapped to burn to death.
Ooh.
I would be fighting. Yeah. AC is the least of your problems when you're gonna cook.
spread rapidly as they lit the garments ablaze. 600 workers rushed to the elevators to escape, having to exit in groups of 12 before eventually shut down. For the rest of the women stuck on the top floor, they had no choice but to jump down the elevator shafts to their deaths. The stairwells led to doors that were locked, leading to more women burning to death.
Stairwells that were locked.
Didn't even have working chamber pots. Ugh.
Ugh. they went to stairwells that were locked.
Because they were rusted shut, they said, right?
No, the pipe that supplies the water to put fires out was rusted shut.
Oh, but the person locked them.
Whatever reason the stairwells are shut or locked shut, so I guess people can't sneak off.
Oh.
Firefighters arriving on the scene witnessed girls jumping out of windows, completely out of option as the fire inched closer and closer. Not only did they die, but some landed on top of fire hoses, slowing down the firefighters' ability to fight the fire. Firefighters' nets were laid out to catch the rest of the jumpers, only for multiple women to jump simultaneously, ripping them open and ending their lives. Ultimately,
What?
Fire killed 148 people. Holy shit.
Girls leap to their death. Blazing bodies whirl to the street in source. Flames pressure victims to 9th and 20th story windows. Ooh. Yeesh. Also, I read that a lot of factories owners in those days locked the doors because they didn't want their workers leave without them. Yep. Yay. Lovely.
146 people died in the span of 18 minutes. It was
I'm also guessing this might... Do you think this was before or after women had rights?
This is before anything was... Like, this was... What was the date on this? 1911.
Okay, so that was before women had rights?
Rights of those. Before
Okay, so they were
before
essentially...
worker rights, before anything.
So they were essentially just slaves.
Yeah.
It's a huge disaster, one that led to worker safety being taken much more seriously, and people pushed heavily for reform, resulting in worker protection laws as well as high standards for factory operations. I'm almost positive that led to like buildings having fire exits and stuff. It's genuinely alarming how companies can force people to, in poor living areas, poor living conditions, to strong arm them into these horrible jobs, making iPhones the worst job. Out of all the, let me ask you this, all these jobs are horrible. Just want to say that. Horrible.
Oh, the iPad we're streaming from was made by one of those poor people.
Poor workers and workplaces, safety standards for sure. Yeah.
Again, back in the day when my dad first started driving a truck, they didn't have air conditioning in the trucks. They didn't have power steering. They barely had heat.
So it was not a happy time to be working as a trucker.
Hell, when I first started learning how to drive, they still had a couple of those old trucks that didn't have air conditioning. And you remember when I did that training in the middle of July?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that sucked so bad. No wonder I was skinnier back then. But yeah, that was, what was I supposed to say?
Things that happened. Out of all those jobs, what were the ones that you think, which was the worst job?
With the Sama thing, you are mentally being like tortured, but
Yeah.
then Foxconn is almost the same because it's like you're living in a dorm.
I feel like out of today's list, Fox.
I think they're all horrible in their own ways.
Yeah, Sama and Foxconn, I think, are topped up there. I mean...
I think any job where you're forced to work basically as a slave is the worst.
Yeah.
Especially if there's no way out. Well,
was
We still got like a minute of this video left.
We do? Oh.
the one that scared me the most. Listen, all of them horrible. I'm just saying Foxconn, it felt like it was just the worst of everything. So I just gotta say this. If you find a good job, hold on to it tight. Don't take shit from any employers who try to f with you. And you know, Godspeed with this crazy work adventure. Amazon, I use them almost every day. Apple, I use my iPhone every day. I'm a part of the problem. Take me out. They'll literally shoot me in the head. Take me out.
It's
Also,
true.
all the employees who talked about my working conditions here at the studio, I just want to say they've all been fired. With 9-year-old Alabama children who are cleaning up the studio as we speak. So, sucks to suck. Public.
Well, that was Papa Meats. Worst working conditions. Woofa.
All right, so
Yeah, you are very thankful for your job, huh?
yeah, at least I have air conditioning. But okay, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna switch over to Monster Hunter's Wild, and I need to switch a bunch of stuff.
Okay, we'll be right back. Bye.